Previously on Amipal. And now, the conclusion.
Here we go with Fighter Bomber. 1990... What? Oh, 1989. I thought it was a 1991 release. I was horribly wrong. 1989, Activision. Well, with one of the best flight sim intros you'll ever see. They basically spend their time cleaning the plane, maintaining it, and the music's on a loop. But yeah, it's pretty nice. New pilot. Now you've got a variety of aircraft you can select with Fighter Bomber. This actually used to be my favourite flight sim back in 1989. You've got a variety of planes, as you can see. They're nicely drawn. Some good artwork there. No keyboard or joystick control at this point. I'm actually unsure whether or not this is the plane that I'll be flying, because you can also fly a Tornado, and I'm not seeing that in the list, so I'm not really sure what's going on. So yeah, you've got nice 3D representations as well that you can go into. Nice black tiger for if you really want to go for a Top Gun style MiG. Nice red star on the back of the fulcrum there. And on the flanker. And the Foxhound. So yeah, we've got a nice selection of jets. We'll go for the Tomcat. So, I've selected the Tomcat. But it says my aircraft is an RAF Tornado. So, not really sure what's happening. Complex maps, complex shapes. I'm assuming this will have a bearing on the 3D engine itself. We'll just leave it as is. You can actually create missions using the designer bit here, and then you can select them in the user missions. Let's try this. Mission text. Oh, so it looks like a bombing campaign against some terrorists. What can go wrong? You'll notice that it says southwest of Ellsworth AFB, Air Force Base. The whole concept of Fighter Bomber is that it's basically a training simulator in Wyoming. So you don't go on anything too... you don't go globe-trotting. I mean, look, we've got Montana, both Dakotas there. Area recon. So that's quite a nice feature. You can just get a basic idea for what it looks like, for where you're flying. But on the other hand, I mean, I could click anywhere on this and it will look exactly the same. Oh, look there, nice big city area. Target recon. Now, I don't know, there's no key on this to tell me whether that's the target or that's the target. Ah, I'm guessing this is what I'm blowing up. A couple of jeeps and a tent. But again, you know, you have to click on things. Command tent. Base. Okay, so I'm flying from there, across Rapid City, to then destroy Command tent. Right. Now, thinking back to the artwork with those jets at the beginning, I wonder if that's some form of copy protection. I mean, there was no text there, was there? But got a variety of armaments that we can use. JP233 is for runway clearing, so auto arm. It's giving me JP233s. No, we don't want those. We'll take the paveways off. We'll go for maximum destruction and just... I mean, why would you put alarm missiles on there? I think they're like anti-radiation. Right, so it doesn't look like I can put those on the centre line. No. Oh, you can double up. How about that? It's quite a nice feature. I like that, being able to just select your weapons and drop them on there. Gives a bit of information there. Yeah, anti-radiation, so you only go after things that have got radars. End. So that ends my armament. I mean, that's not the best use of language, is it? It could end the game for all I know. Right, here I am on the ground. Got the standard viewpoints, control tower, rear view, left, satellite. Oh, there's my tornado on the runway. Tracking view, aircraft view. So the detail on your jet is quite impressive. Just hit 0 and put it up to full. Let's take the wheel brake off. And we're heading down the runway at 100 knots. It really seems like it, doesn't it? And up we go. This is not a very... Oh, it's not very responsive. Just put my gear up. No weapons displayed on the aircraft, but then I don't think we've seen any on any of the other ones that we've played so far, so maybe just a product of the time. That's wheel brake. I don't actually have the keys here, which doesn't really help. So we've got afterburner going. Doesn't actually show it on the engine, but never mind. Right, we're selecting our different targets, different weapons. Ground target, none. Flare. Again, I don't have a manual for this, so I'm just kind of going through stuff to try and give me an indication of where the hell I should be going. Wheel brake's no use here. Waypoint 2, heading 224, right. And we turn. Oh my goodness. Okay, so while Interceptor and F-15 and F-29 and Falcon have been very good at giving me an impression of speed and agility of fast jets, currently I am not really getting that with fighter bomber. And bear in mind, I used to play this on a 1 meg equipped A500, so an A1200 with an 030, 2 mega chip RAM and 16 meg of fast RAM. Doesn't really look like it's going too fast, does it? Now I'm looking down here, we've got waypoint 2, heading 230, which I'm on. Range 8 miles. You'd think I'll be able to target that at the moment, but apparently not. What? This is not going to be a particularly exciting game to watch, is it, for you guys? Oh, my gear's down. Ah, so look, we do actually have an afterburn effect at the rear. Just none of the shock cones. Right, range 3. The excitement is palpable, isn't it? I think most publishers or most of the big publishers anyway, of Amiga software did release flight simulators on the Amiga. Of course, Microprose were the biggest. That was probably their bread and butter, was flight sims and simulator software. So when Ocean and Activision tended to do things, they tended to do more of the kind of arcade ones. Despite me showing you F-15, which seems to be very, very arcadey, but I put that more down to the fact that it was probably developed for both the Amiga and Mega Drive at the same time. This is a bit more simulator-esque than F-15 was. I wonder how it compared to some of the other ones I'm going to show you a bit later, but we're gradually getting there. Waypoint 2, 45. Hang on. So now target 270. I'm just going to be flying around in circles here and never get to the thing, am I? Let's get a bit lower down. You can see we got, oh, enemy in vicinity. We've got roads and we've got hills represented by, they're basically huge pyramids. Hey, it works. You know they're there. I didn't want to fire that. Apparently backspace is target, ground target, so this might end up with me just going cannon. That'll be where my missile hit. I'm doing 674 knots at 2,000 feet. I don't know if there are any pilots watching this, but if you could give me an idea of whether this is the kind of expectation of speed that you get at 2,000 feet at 600 knots, that'd be good to hear. I've got a dot coming from behind me. I wonder what this is. There it is in the distance. Now they said there weren't going to be any enemies in the area. They've blown me out of the sky. So this is the after mission report that they give you. The planned course was to fly from here to here. My course flown was something akin to this. So I was getting there, but I did kind of take off and head north for quite a bit. I did not land on a runway. I destroyed none of the targets. I shot down no aircraft. All targets were not destroyed. I failed to return to base. I think that was a good flight, don't you? Now, I actually quite enjoyed that. I know it didn't actually look that exciting, but it at least gave me some details on screen. It wasn't too simulaty that I couldn't actually do anything in the game, but then it wasn't too arcadey that it just felt like I was flying around without any kind of physics at all. So I know I did say that I was a bit unimpressed with the impression of speed on that, but I did quite enjoy that. Let's move on. Now we have Combat Air Patrol from Psygnosis. Now this was released in the early 90s. They're saying 1990/93, depending on where you look. So maybe we'll say 92. Psygnosis didn't really do simulation software, so this is a bit of a rarity for them. But let's see how it goes. Yes, it has an introduction, which we haven't really seen on any of the others, except for that awesome one on Fighter Bomber. Oh, looks like something bad's going down. They've launched some jets. And there we go. Right. Psygnosis presents Combat Air Patrol by Maverick Simulation. Now this has a bit of a Top Gun-esque look to it, feel to it. You're a naval aviator flying from a aircraft carrier. First of all, let's get clouds and visible payload on, because you know we've got a faster system here. Insta flights. Right, J for joystick. There we go. Oh, it's looking good. I'm flying an F-18. And if I point the nose down, or turn it over, try to turn it anyway. You can see the elevators moving. That's a nice effect. You can see the missiles underneath. Let's get inside. There we go. Flies a bit better inside. Doesn't have to draw all that plane. It's quite a nice flight model. Nice, responsive enough, but giving you the impression of. Oops. Fire some sparrows. Of course. This has a habit of getting you right in the thick of it if you do free flight, so I can show you the engine and then it will crash me. Every time. There we go. Right, so let's do a single mission instead. Should we go for a bit of a convoy strafe? Can't get any information though. We'll do it over target. We'll stick with what they've given me. Looks like I'm flying an F-18 now. There we go. Okay, this appears to have time of day on it, so you do get night missions, you get dawn missions. Sidewind designs. Nice responsive engine, looks quite good. Nice draw distance on it. I'm not really getting any information up on the screen though. You'd think that would default to it. I don't really want to start poking around just to find it. Just increase the power to the engines. You see the bombs underneath the wings there. Oh, let's start being attacked. Let's get back in the cockpit so we don't get hit. This is one of the more complicated simulators. It definitely has more key bindings than F-18 Interceptor. I'll probably put this above Fighter Bomber, but below Falcon. Carrier can't see me. I won't hit F10 because that will just quit me out of the WHD load. Right, I've armed some bombs. I'm not entirely sure how I'm firing here. Yeah, this is one that might require a bit further reading up. But like I said, it looks good, feels good. There's plenty of missions to fly from your carrier or just straight over the target. I'd like some information on these screens. Oh, it's illuminating my cockpit. No, don't put your gear down. Oh, I've done acceleration. Oof. It's got a time dilation effect, so you can actually increase your speed to get to your mission quickly, etc. But as you can see, it actually forced me into the ground there. Should we see if we can do another one? It's got sampled speech throughout it as well. It's a nice effect. Oh, I've actually showed some weapons now. That's a plus. No idea how I did that. Lots of different aircraft up in the sky there. Yeah, I just can't get any information. This, like I said, this is one I'm going to have to look up. So I think we'll move on to the next game. It's Tornado. In this case, Tornado AGA. Now, Combat Air Patrol seemed to be just that bit too tricky to just pick up and play. I'm looking at the 4 pages of keys for Tornado, and I'm kind of worrying about that now. So let's go. Start with some options. What have we got? Prefs. Oh, texture sky, texture horizon. Yeah, let's do everything and see what that gives us. Let's do a quick start. IDS easy. Tornado IDS. Oh. Okay, so the frame rate on that isn't too good. But you can see from the landscape that it's pretty damn good. There she is. Yeah, frame rate isn't brilliant. Whoa! There'll be some G's, won't it? I don't know what's happening. Shall we do flight? And we'll do... Actually, exit that. That frame rate wasn't too good, was it? So we'll just have a plain sky, and I think we'll have visibility at 22, and hills can be plain. Yeah, right. Training! Let's do airfield attack. Wow! Okay, so this is a bit more complicated than Combat Air Patrol. Cap. But it looks like we've got margins for weight and all sorts. Let's just leave that as it is, I think. Airfield attack. Commit. I probably need to do a hell of a lot more. Right, here I am. As you can see, it's a nice big screen on this one. Some of the others have been for NTSC screen mode, so they've really increased the screen size. You can also see that we've got a very dark sky and a load of jets which are slowly taking off next to me. Okay, so There's my thrust. Brakes off. Okay, the frame rate's not great, is it? Good thing I took off when I did, because there wasn't much runway left. That's gear up. Okay. I'm not going to fuss around with the external views because it took me long enough to actually get here. But you see we've got navigation radar down here, usual HUD array, so I think we'll just follow that line for now. And I'll use the time to... I'm pressing S to swing back the wings, apparently. There's not really any indication of what does of anything on the screen, is there, about messages or what have you. Shall I unlock air-to-ground weapons? Oh, that fog came in thick, didn't it? Is this going to be my entire flight? I'm going to have things shouting at me. Because it's very loud. Right, low cloud, that is. That's a very nice effect. I haven't seen that on any of the other flight sims so far. Right, my ground radar is on. Doesn't seem to toggle, so it looks like... Right. Sure, this is going to tell me in a minute what it is shouting about. I've got 4 pages here, and I'm just trying to find a cockpit view. Select front seat. Control cursor up. Number 7. Yeah. I'm bringing my thrust down because I wonder if this thing's trying to shake itself apart. Right, I've locked the weapons, and the shaking seems to have stopped as well, so that's good. I'm just pressing things now and I hope that it's going to stop that alarm, because it's ever so annoying. Oh, I don't know what's happening here. I think we're going down. There's no way I'm going to get out of this. Well, it's been a joy serving with you. See, now I can understand why it might be having oh, I can talk quietly again. Killed in training. Probably not a moment too soon. This is a difficult game. Maybe I should spend time in the simulator. I mean, I know all I'm supposed to do is fly around, but... Right, power up. We'll leave this map on this time. I think my plane's already... Ground speed too high, killed in training. This game does not let up, does it? Right, you can see where I failed. It's put a nice cross next to me. Right. Let's try again. That music's pretty nifty, isn't it? Pretty funky. Right. I'll try not to do the speed too high now, because it's like my undercarriage collapsed under the speed. I going fast enough to take off? I don't actually... Where's my rate of knots? Right, I think I'm off the ground. Gears up. And now I'm going to follow this line here. And we're going to get somewhere. And hopefully I'm not going to crash and burn again. Am I supposed to swing my wings back? Spills, control I. I don't know what that is. This is going to be the duration, isn't it? Just this shouting at me continuously. I mean, can it not tell me what's happening? Increase thrust, maybe? I've hit next waypoint. This is very... Alarm off? Right, okay, this says alarm off, number key, asterisk, and guess what? That quits the game. That's Tornado, ladies and gentlemen. That is Tornado. So now we're going to play TFX. TFX, Tactical Fighter Experiment, was a game that was released on the PC and was supposed to be released on the Amiga, but never saw the light of day with its original publisher, Ocean. And it wasn't until CU Amiga stepped into the breach and had it put on one of their cover discs in 1997. It wasn't a fully complete game. There were issues with it, still a few bugs in there. But luckily, someone released a patched version a few years later, and this is the version that I'm going to play today. Just trying to click through. Some 3D ray traced bits there. Let's load up Dark Inferno Loose Cannon. Why not? Simulator mode, we've got arcade, we've got training, tour of duty. I'm going to go to arcade just to show you the game. No, I'm not. Because we're doing simulators, aren't we? But it does show that there is an arcade side to the game. Okay, so we've got various places around the world. Let's do daytime clear sky, just to have it a bit consistent with the other games. Although Combat Air Patrol has been quite good in terms of time of day, and Tornado had that very impressive low cloud actually. Right, looks like I've got a Eurofighter Typhoon. Now this functions in a drag and drop way, so you can get your missile and stick it on a pylon. At least that's the idea, because I'm not really sure where the drop point is. Ah, there we go. And can we mount any on the... Yeah. Okay. That's good, doesn't it? I'm assuming everything's going to be air to air. Now this is quite an advanced engine compared to what we've seen before. I think half the reason it didn't get released was because of the complexity of the engine. On the standard A1200 this would have been very slow going, and it is. It really is. Luckily both my machines are accelerated in some way, shape or form. Okay. Oh. We'll turn our engines on. Right, wheel brakes off. Again, I've got the manual on my lap. Hey! It's tornado all over again. Right, looks like we're going dawn then. Let's try and show some... Oh, we've got an F-22 this time. Can we select the plane? Oh no, it's because I selected dawn. Funny, isn't it? Stick it like that. It seems to be a bit easier to mount up. Right, so we've got AMRAMs all round. No, I don't think so. To maintain its stealth credentials, you get weapons mounted on internal pylons. So this isn't a full beast mode F-22 by the look of things, where they do actually mount them externally. Well, they do on the F-35 anyway. See, I know about aeroplanes. Right, one thing TFX has is much longer load times than the rest of them. But it's a much more demanding engine to it, so I guess it's having to load all those bits and pieces. Let's go for some views. Shift F1. F1. Look left. Look right. Yeah, you get something known as a virtual cockpit. So it's a 3D representation of the cockpit, which looks pretty good, you know, when it's all just 3D like that. It looks very nice indeed. Chase view. Destroy power station. That's good because all I've got is AMRAMs. F6 flyby view, doesn't matter. F7 tactical. F8 is missile view. F9 is target view. We don't have that yet. There's back to the virtual cockpit. I think there was something about being able to move around the virtual cockpit using a mouse, but that doesn't seem to work. I'm moving the mouse and nothing's happening. So let's get inside the plane. We'll start up our engines again, like we did last time. We'll see whether or not we can get airborne. Starting up the engines. Wheel brake off. This is going to be like Tornado, where basically it's going too fast on the ground. Oh my goodness. It's mouse control. That was sudden. No wonder I didn't take off last time. Can I change that? Well, let's have it. Look, let's have it realistic, and we'll have it keyboard, and we'll probably crash horribly, won't we? Let's see what that did. Oh, there we go, that's better. Okay, so you can see it's all like garage shaded. Jared? Shaded sky and landscape. It does look pretty cool. Is there a sun? I know it's dawn, but we seem to have the same shading all around, don't we? But yeah, you get a nice bit of kind of shadow and highlight inside the cockpit too. Yeah! Even the guns are polygons, as you'd expect. Didn't expect that to happen there. But the landscape itself actually looks... Whoa! That's actually not too bad reactions there. Now, one of the keys on here says that increase afterburner is asterisk again. I don't really want to press the asterisk button on the number pad because that quit Tornado previously, didn't it? Okay, it's a bit difficult to kind of do careful controls here. Oh, maybe there is a configuration to do in there. Oh, got 32 colours on the horizon. It's nice, isn't it? Textures? Ooh, let's put that back down to 10 then, we'll see what happens. Show weapons, yes. They might have to do some loading, yeah. It's just all over the place, isn't it? Oh. Yeah, my gear's up now. I've still got a nice big red dot on my my radar return here. I've got a nice target here. Time warp. Ah. Speeds things up a bit, doesn't it? There it goes. But I'm too... Yeah, I'm too far away. I can see a dot now. Shall I fire another one? It takes a while before you see your missile, so you fire it, you hear it, and then you have to wait about 2-3 seconds before it's actually visible coming from your plane. It's a bit disconcerting. That MiG-29 does not want to go down, does it? It says in range, lock, AMRAAM. Oh, it's still going. That's pretty nice, isn't it? It's getting there, it's getting there, is it going to hit? Oh, popping some chaff. Gotcha! So yeah, it looks nice. I'm not really sure about what the controls are doing. I wonder whether or not, I mean, even if we went back to arcade, whether that would make it a bit more... Oh yeah, it does it mouse, doesn't it? Still saying that. You feel like you're pointing it a bit more accurately. Maybe it's the way to play, who knows? But I do prefer a good joystick. And yes, I'm aware digital joysticks are never going to be as good or as sensitive as something like a mouse or a analog stick, but some of the other games that I have played today do react a bit better So you can hear me clicking. That's not micro switch engaging. So it's like, come on, game. So this is TFX. Thanks for watching. I'm conscious of the fact that I only went through a few Amiga flight sims. There are loads out there, but I tried to focus on some of the most well-known ones and ones that show kind of a progression through the years as developers got to know the hardware and put out more detailed simulators. Out of all of them, I still think F-18 Interceptor is the one that feels most like you're a fighter pilot. Not that I've ever flown a jet fighter, but just the sound, the reaction of the controls, the visual cues it gives you, so you kind of like go through the sound barrier, or you get thrown off the deck by the catapult. It's good feeling, and considering that's the oldest game that I've played here today, that's I think it speaks volumes really. Some of the other ones are most definitely simulators, very serious simulators. Tornado, that's incredibly complicated. That's definitely not a pick up and play game. And similarly, Combat Air Patrol needs some time invested into it. I think TFX probably sits slightly below those two, but you do need a serious machine to actually get anything out of it. The fact it actually runs better than Tornado, I was quite surprised by. But you do need an accelerated machine. It has to be an AGA machine as well. It's not RTG compatible, so it's just also back to TFX. The fact that it ever got released was also a big plus for me, because I was looking forward to it and quite disappointed when I heard that it wouldn't be released originally. If anyone actually got into aviation, flying commercially or with the military as a result of playing Amiga flight sims, I'd love to hear from you. I think that'd be a really inspiring idea. And thanks for watching.